Hello, beautiful souls. How are you today? I want to give a big shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you for pushing that subscribe and that like button. I'm so honored that you have come to my channel and you like the content, or even if you don't like the content, leave comments. This is a give and take. I am divinely led to share every bit of information on my channel. And so if you too are in search of truth, we can find it together. Today, I am going to bring you a channeled message from the beautiful being known as Pocahontas. And it came about a few days ago, maybe even a week. I had been getting information from Gran, who is White Buffalo Calf Woman, as well as Grandpa Ken. And the information is leading to, well, I was intuitively nudged to start doing a founding fathers series because the founding fathers, many of them became presidents, enacted many of our congressional bases, and their history, their story, their lineage, their everything is interwoven in the truth that is the indigenous people and other beings, other races that were on the land known as the Americas long, long ago. So when this information came through from Pocahontas, I wanted to honor her message in a video of it itself, although some things that she gave opened up lots of downloads, lots of information came forward. Like I said, weaving together Native American history with our founding fathers and other galactic races. So it's going to be an amazing playlist, I believe. Lots of truth will come through. And I really look forward to sharing that with you as it starts to develop. So right now, we're going to get into Pocahontas Speaks. I am Pocahontas. I was present on the Americas long before British soldiers came to these lands. Various tribes sought peace through trade and protection. This land was once known for its variety of races. Native Americans, during colonization of America and the American Revolution, taught farmers and ordinary people how to fight against evil, an evil that was attacking them. Not only the founding fathers, but also the redcoats. Soldiers were actually vampires. They were hunting the people. The natives knew how to fight them, and they were fighting them long before the settlers and the British arrived. The blue people walked among various tribes. They fled to inner earth as their bloodline was being attacked at a level that was inhumane. There were other tribes that escaped as well. Some you may have heard of, others were not well known. Some were so ancient and purely good that they were portrayed in your history and movies as horrible. Yes, there were some evil tribes, but not as many as your history, his story, has portrayed. All truth is held in the Library of Alexandria. This is the end of the first channeled message from Pocahontas. As soon as this last part came in about the tribes, that their history was, again, inverted, manipulated, I downloaded that the Utes and the Paiutes were some of those tribes that were inherently good. And it came about because I got Ute, uterus, womb, divine feminine, fertility goddesses, all of these things to the core threatened the establishment. They threatened the narrative that was pushed forward. They did not want any woman to know that they had powerful lineages, that they had people in their history that were warriors and goddesses and really, really powerful healers. And so this was just another layer of distorting the truth and turning the real history into something that was portrayed negative. So then Gran, white buffalo calf woman, steps forward and says, yes, many of us assisted the native land dwellers in techniques for protecting themselves and their spaces. Some battled well. Others succumbed to the temptation, while many were killed and others fled. The tragic truth is being revealed with your downloads. History is made of lies and has been taught far and wide. They don't want the deep, dark truth of the horror concocted by the dark against the light to be known. This next part is a channel, direct channel of Pocahontas to me. I am Pocahontas. You may call me Poco. I am honored to braid with you, to clear the truth and share it is a deeply profound feeling. I will do my best to relate to you. The work you did a couple of days ago opened up many ripples and timelines. These ripples called to me to step forward with my truth. I encounter many dark souls in my waking dream. As a powerful woman, native, priestess, warrior, I was either being manipulated or hunted. The reverence came much later. As a young maiden, my elders and shamans taught me, tested me, and trained me for all that I would encounter. So you know that meant that the whimsical dreams of a young maiden left me at a young age. I had to prepare to defend myself and my people from the dark evil that took all without care or consciousness. The history is almost 100% inverted. To know our truth, think mirror. It was we who welcomed all to the land. We shared knowledge and practices to ensure sovereignty, security, and sustenance. This was looked upon with disdain, and our actions were met with attacks by those who would only succeed in their mission when the people of the Americas were separated. They forced us apart, they forced us to fight, they forced us to flee. The same acts as all oppressive cultures carry out on their people was brought to our land. RAPE, enslavement, beatings, burnings, and beheadings, all done for dark agendas, just like now in your waking dream. To know my truth is to know your truth. We have suffered at the same dark energy. This time, they will not defeat us. This time, the light forces win. The light returns. The great sun and the star people return. And that was the end of the second channel message from Pocahontas. So a couple of things I'm going to touch on. The blue people. It's not the first time I'd heard of the blue people referred to in the history of the Native American history. So there's been some books that have been found that were sealed in the original packaging, not tampered with in any way, shape, or form, from 1400s, 1500s, early 1600s, that have made mention of the blue people in the tribes and that they lived cohesively with the indigenous people. Now, as a artifact of truth, if you go out into the western deserts and the mountains, and you look at the hieroglyphs and the cave drawings and things like that, there are images of blue people with the Native Americans in their historical accounts that they made on these blank canvases of the mountainsides. So, and there are many people, forensic biologists, forensic archaeologists, that have looked at it from a true search of truth avenue instead of the narrative. So many of these artifacts were found, and because of our culture, we ignorantly believed that the Smithsonian was about not just only preserving history, but telling the truth of history. And it is not. There are thousands of lawsuits against the entities of the Smithsonian, as they have been sent artifacts. They have requested artifacts be sent to them by people who want a official academic assessment of what they find, only to destroy these artifacts because they don't want the truth to come out. And so if you think that you can go to a museum and see truth, you're seeing the manipulated truth. You're seeing what they want you to see. There is a very, very dark side to our history, and that's the part that's really hard to deal with sometimes. That's the part that's like the punch between the eyes, the punch in the gut. It's our people that were manipulated by their ego. When Gran mentioned some battled well and some succumbed to the temptation, that's what she was talking about. It's the same temptation that they offer up now. Power, fortune, women, like whatever you can pull at that ego is what is offered. And so then what ended up happening is, yes, some of the Native Americans fell for that. And then they became the attackers. And then they became the scapegoat. Because it was so much easier to sell the story that all of the murders, all of the death, all of the destruction, all of the horrific acts being played out on the people of the land of the Americas. And I'm not talking about one state or one colony, I'm talking about everywhere. It was so much easier, it worked so well for them to blame the Native Americans because they were the ones that was seen doing the attacks. They were put up to that by the manipulation of the controllers. And like I said, a lot of the truth about the Native American history interweaves with our founding fathers. And so to go down one avenue and discover so many truths about the inverted reality that we've been fed of our founding fathers, I have now been called to do a founding fathers series because I believe we all deserve to have our truth, and then you decide what to do with it. That's giving you the respect as a sovereign being to allow yourself to make your own free will choice of what you accept as truth. What they have done from the beginning of time is give us what they want us to know. It's not the truth. It's a watered down version. It's an inverted version. Sometimes it's completely fabricated, but it supports their narrative. You see, to have an entire country, world even, fearful of coming here to the Americas because of the ravaging that was being carried out by the Native Americans, well, that served them just fine because then they could manipulate who came and where and what they did, and they had a fighting force in their pocket. So whenever you pan out and you think about this, you need to think about it outside of your brain, outside of what we've been taught, because that's all been a lie by and large. Think about it from a realistic perspective. It makes so much sense that they carry out their playbook throughout every aspect of life in every time period, because it all gave a sense of fear, oppression, and ignorance, because they're left in the dark. People are not given the truth. And then they're easier to control and manipulate when they are living off of fear. It's the same thing that they do to us now. Also, to cause division. You have factions fighting against one another, and you're basically doing the dirty work of the controllers out of ignorance and out of fear. And they love to keep us in that fear state because we're so easily manipulated. So, as my journey for truth continues and takes all these twists and turns, I completely am so grateful for Pocahontas stepping forward and Grand White Buffalo Calf Woman sharing their experiences when they walked this earth. I'm very grateful that I was able to put these pieces together, along with confirming with some of our ground crew. And I look forward to sharing the true history of our founding fathers, because, like I've always said, the truth can be respected, and a lie is just that. You can never respect a lie because it's always changing. The truth never changes. It is the truth. No versions, no phases. So join me as we learn our true history, come to terms with it, and take the best pieces forward. I hope this video finds you well, you stay safe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.